というようなところがそうなんですね。一つ鍵を握ってくるかと思います。
Terrence Wilkins, the former member of the Indianapolis Colts in his first season in St. Louis. So we're underway from St. Louis, and Wilkins will bring it out of the end zone, 5 yards deep. Gets over the 10 up to the 15, make it the 16-yard line, a return of 19 yards. Marc Bulger, 20 of 29 last week, 245 yards, 2 touchdowns, as well as 2 interceptions. And let's take a look at the line protecting Marc Bulger. Up front, Orlando Pace has an injured groin muscle, but he's in there. Newton, McCollum, Timmerman, and St. Clair. The backs and receivers, the great one on the right, Marshall Faulk, 3 straight games with over 150 yards rushing. So they want to give it to him as much as possible. First down and 10 at the 15-yard line for the Rams. First series of the game. They hand it off to Faulk, looking over the right side, and he gets about the 18-yard line, gain of 3. Defensively for the Chargers, they allowed a season-high 165 yards rushing. These are the guys playing in front of Junior Seau, Wiley, Williams, Fisk, and Johnson, and the linebackers. Junior has been nursing a tender ankle all season, missed a couple of games. Edwards comes over from Kansas City. Lieber's a rookie. And in the secondary, Mr. Harrison, Rodney Harrison, back in the lineup after serving a 1-game suspension for an illegal hit on Jerry Rice a few weeks back. Second down and 7 at the 18. Play action. Bulger setting up deep in the pocket over the middle. Torrey Holt with the grab at the 36. Nicely done. A 19-yard gain for the Rams. First down, St. Louis.
And you're going to see Torrey Holt run a deep over route. Marc Bulger has time to stand in the pocket, step up. The Rams like to utilize the middle of the field. Torrey Holt has had a pretty quiet first half of the season. Really expect him to break out here the second half of the season. Talked to him on the sideline before the game. He just says we have to be patient, but he seems like he had that look in his eye, Gus, where he says we're going to turn this thing on come the second half.
44th reception of the season, and Marc Bulger has been on fire in the first quarter this season. Look at that quarterback rating. First down and 10 at the 37. Bulger again to pass over the middle. Another wide open receiver. This time it's the Reverend Isaac Bruce. 19-yard gain, so back-to-back 19-yard gains for the Rams. Alex Molden with the tackle.
And we've seen the Chargers come out a little bit 3 deep. Look right there. You see the dead spot over the middle of the field right there, the hole. And Isaac Bruce finds that hole. And Marc Bulger takes a shot and hits the ground. Watch him grab his wrist, Gus.
For Pennsylvania. First down and 10 at the San Diego 44. They run the reverse. Ball is bobbled. But they get around the corner. This is Troy Edwards cutting it. And he stumbles forward and gets to the 15. A 27-yard gain for the Rams.
And a great misdirection call. The Rams like to run so much counter. They actually were going to wide receiver right outside here. And watch the pitch from Williams outside. And here's Troy Edwards. Marc Bulger makes a big block that springs Edwards on the outside there, and Edwards is starting to step back up into this offense. 4 big grabs last week, had a big play, 48-yard catch down the middle. And we saw him do some things the second half of the year last year with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and what a great acquisition for the St. Louis Rams team.
First down and 10 at the 17. Lamar Green in the backfield. They look in the end zone, touchdown, just like that. Ernie Conway.
Great things about the Rams, they have so many weapons. Their tight end Ernie Conwell right to the corner here. You see the coverage not getting back in time, and Ernie Conwell has a lot more speed than people realize. Marc Bulger, you talk about accuracy, just putting it right on the numbers.
Extra point is up and good. The first receiving touchdown of the year for the 7th-year man out of the University of Washington. And Marc Bulger perfect, 3 of 3 on the drive, 55 yards, and the Rams take a 7-0 lead. Marc Bulger leading the Rams on their first offensive series to a touchdown. Conwell with his first receiving touchdown of the year, 17 yards. And they score in 3 minutes and 17 seconds. 5 plays covering 85 yards. Rams send it away. This is Ronnie Jenkins, and he's 8 yards deep in his own end zone. Decides to take a knee. So Drew Brees, the starting quarterback for the Chargers in his second year out of Purdue, struggled last week versus the Jets through 2 interceptions. And this is the line protecting Brees. Damian McIntosh is out of the lineup, normally the left tackle with a sprained ankle, so Ed Ellis gets an opportunity to replace him. And let's take a look at the back-end receivers. LaDainian Tomlinson rushing only 12 times last week. That's a season low at 60 yards rushing. On first down, they run it. Tomlinson over the right side. Not a lot of room. A couple of yards at best. Tommy Polley with the tackle, and the Rams defense held the Cardinals to a season low 235 total yards last week. Brent Wistrom is the leader on the line. Scanina, Pickett, and Little. The linebackers. It's Polley, Duncan, and Davis. And in the secondary, Adam Archuleta. He'll play the linebacker. Herring, former Raven, Lion Fisher on the corner. Second down, 8 at the 22. Tomlinson breaking free, gets to the 30, make it the 31. So for this San Diego Chargers team, Brent, as we talked to Marty Schottenheimer yesterday, the best defense is a good offense.
Absolutely, and they want to control the clock, and of course that means a lot of LaDainian Tomlinson. And this is a very important drive for the Chargers, and you hate to say the first drive of the game for your team is important, but they're still coming off that shellacking by the Jets last week, 44-13. Maybe a few question marks in their minds, and you go on the road, and the Rams just waltz right down the field, and you're down 7-0.
Third down and 1 at the 29. McCrary, Tomlinson in the backfield, and the whistle. Flags on the play. Ed Hockley, your referee.
Before the ball was snapped, snap infraction by the center, number 60. 5-yard penalty. It's still third down.
Jason Ball, I think, just sliding the ball right here. The center, you see that? And that's illegal procedure. And guess the mark of this Chargers team until last week has been run the ball, stop the run, and play smart. And they had 6 penalties in the first half last week against the Jets. Really put them down. We're down at halftime 31-7. You don't want to make stupid penalties on the road.
46 penalties on the season for the Chargers. 3rd and 6 at the 24. They need to go to the 30, and another penalty coming up against San Diego, and it must be very difficult to play in this dome. This place is really loud.
It's extremely difficult, and I think this is the loudest place that we've been.
And before the ball was snapped, ball start, offense, number 69, 5-yard penalty, it's still third down.
Of course, St. Louis has some of the savviest sports fans in the country, and they know when to cheer and when to get going, and Chargers offense looks a little rattled thus far.
And we talked to Drew Brees yesterday. He said they practice operating their offense with serious crowd noise. He said if you can play in Oakland, you can play in anywhere. I don't know if the second-year quarterback was ready for this kind of noise. Third down and 11 at the 19. They need to go to the 30, and another flag. Back-to-back-to-back flags, and this one will go against San Diego as well.
Before the snap, ball start, offense, number 69, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
This time it's Ed Ellis.
And if you're a San Diego Charger, you're thinking to yourself, oh no, here we go again. These are some of the same things that happened last week against the Jets. And you get yourself in a hole, and they don't necessarily have a catch-up style of offense with the young quarterback. And they've been heavy on the running game, of course, with LaDainian Tomlinson. But on the road, with the noise, this young offensive line has done a great job run blocking, but not as many opportunities pass blocking, and that's a concern for this Charger offense.
Chargers struggled last week. They were 1 of 9 on third down conversions. 3rd and 16 at the 14. Here's a screen. Tomlinson out of the the backfield, gets to the original line of scrimmage, a gain of 7. So the Chargers forced to punt it away. Coming up empty on their first offensive series. Darren Bennett has had a punt of at least 50 yards in 7 of 8 games this season.
And Gus, we've got to comment about this punt team for the Chargers. It's been one of the most horrific units in the National Football League.
Horrific, that's strong.
That is, if you look at them on film, it's strong too.
So Bennett punting from the 6. High spiraling kick. Wilkins backpedaling to the 26. Trying to get outside, and he will be dropped for a loss. Great job on special teams by the Chargers. Carlos Pohl, backup linebacker with the tackle. A 52-yard punt, a 7-yard loss. The old courthouse here in St. Louis, located on North 4th Street. Construction began back in 1826. 7-0, the Rams leading the Chargers. Rams with the ball at the 20, first down and 10. Wilkins in motion. They fake the reverse. Bulger sets up in the pocket. A lot of time to throw the ball. Finally dumps it off. Here's Falk trying to get outside and dances out of bounds at the 22. About a yard-and-a-half gain. Alex Molden ushering him out of bounds. And Kurt Warner, he wants to be back for next week's game against Chicago on Monday, but I don't know if he'll return that soon.
Well, he threw the ball for the first time on Thursday, and it was a little sore, and actually had a chance to throw Friday, a little more velocity, and this was actually this morning. You can see he's putting some oomph into it, starting to get some arm strength and velocity back. He's still going to have to be able to throw that deep in, that deep crossing route, and the deep out routes that we've seen Marc Bulger here the first series complete. That's going to be the telling tale, Gus, and I think it'll probably be a couple more weeks before Kurt Warner gets back.
Second down 9 at the 22. Quick strike to the sideline, and it's caught. A loose ball picked up by the Chargers. Fumbled forward, and the Chargers have it, and they have a touchdown. Unbelievable. Ryan McNeil fumbled the ball to himself, picked it up, and rambled into the end zone for the score. And that's the kind of break that this Chargers team needed.
That's absolutely the break that they needed. And Troy Edwards, I believe, got stripped along that Chargers sideline. And was it McNeil that pulled it out? And here's Marc Bulger just throwing the quick route outside. And actually, it's Alex Molden. You see him going for that strip, and we've seen so much more of that this year. Defenders being aware of stripping that ball out. And McNeil, the former Ram, gets in the end zone, and that's got to feel good.
Edwards, who had such a nice game last week versus Arizona with 4 catches, making a mistake. And the Chargers get on the board. They add the extra point, and with 7:36 to play in the first, the Chargers tie it up at 7 apiece.
Watch the aggressiveness, Gus, of Alex Molden. Gets the tackle and just starts ripping, and that ball comes flying out. And there's McNeil against his former team for 6.
10-year veteran Ryan McNeil with a big-time play, a 5-yard touchdown on the fumble recovery, and we're tied up at 7 apiece. Troy Edwards making a mistake, but it was also a great defensive play by Alex Molden, who ripped the ball free. This one heading into the end zone and out of bounds, and this San Diego team really focused on special teams after so many miscues last week.
And Gus, Alex Molden does a great job outside. Watch him go ahead and secure the tackle. He gets his left arm on the shoulder pads of Troy Edwards, and then he rips. See that ball come flying out. Now watch this free-for-all down the sideline. All the Chargers know it's going to be a touchdown. These three. Look at Junior, Rodney, and McNeil. You ever play 3 flies up when you were a kid and it was just a free-for-all going for that ball?
3 flies up, what's that?
You know, you throw the baseball up in the air and guys kill themselves trying to get the ball.
No, we used to call that kill the man with the football.
Well,
in Detroit.
This was a baseball analogy.
Here's Molden. First down and 10 for the Rams. And I believe a timeout has been called. Yes, it has. Timeout.
Timeout San Diego. That's their first charge timeout.
7:36 to play. And the Birds are tied up at 7. (7-7). Alex Molden with the big play so far for San Diego. Rams take over. First down and 10 at their 20. Here's the handoff. Falk over the left side. Bottled up and taken to the ground. Nicely done by Ray Lee Johnson. And Alex Molden in his 7th year out of Oregon. He's definitely a family man. He and his wife, Kristen, they have date night, Brent, every Thursday in which they set aside some time. They go out to dinner, maybe see a movie. And every Tuesday when the players are off, they take Isaiah and Elijah out. They always try to take a trip or do something interesting to spend time with his family.
That's great. I used to have date night with my wife when I played, because during the season, otherwise you wouldn't see her. One of these days when you get married, maybe you can have date night.
Thank you very much. I'm surprised she didn't have something better to do. Second down and 11 at the 19. Here's the handoff. Second man through is Marshall Falk. Falk over the 20 up to the 22. Leonardo Carson coming up with the stop, a 3-yard gain for Falk.
And we've seen a couple of plays, Marshall Falk, but early on we saw Marc Bulger going back to pass and not getting any pressure from this defensive front four from the San Diego Chargers. And that's going to be a significant point as we go along in this game. The Chargers have got to find a way to get to him. They have 24 sacks coming into the game today, although 16 of those sacks were in their first 3 games of the season. Only 8 sacks in the last 5 games. They've got to get some pressure in Bulger's face.
Third down 8 at the 22. They need to go to the 30 for first down. Bulger 5 for 5 so far. That one almost intercepted. Just threw it away. Ricky Prohl, the intended receiver. Molden covering. And the Rams forced a punt.
And Gus, for the first time today, the San Diego Chargers brought the blitz. Rodney Harrison, you see him picked up right there by Marshall Falk. And Bulger still had to get rid of that, but nice job by the Rams of picking up the blitz. I think the Chargers brought 8 men on that, and they blocked it up nicely.
Mitch Berger, 6 years in the Minnesota Vikings organization, punting to Tim Dwight, his first punt return of the season. Tamarick Vanover inactive today. Berger gets off a long wobbly punt. Dwight back to his 17. Tim Dwight changing directions and is taken down at the 26-yard line. Leonard Little, who leads this team in sacks with 7 playing special teams. A 60-yard punt and a 9-yard return. So here comes Drew Brees with the game tied at 7. Tie ball game in the first, and Big Mo has changed sidelines.
And you could just feel it with that Alex Molden play. And of course the 3-and-out stop by the Chargers.
The Chargers with the momentum. Here's Brees rolling out of the pocket, fires on the run. Curtis Conway with the grab, and Conway has enough for a first down. Here's the pitch. Tomlinson getting outside with blockers. LaDainian Tomlinson, the young man out of TCU, a native of Waco, Texas, University High School, gains 9 yards.
And what a pleasure it was to talk to that young man. It was funny, we were talking to him about playing against Marshall Falk, and he said, hey, I remember when I was just a kid watching Marshall Falk for the first time against BYU when he was at San Diego State. And he said, I want to grow up and be just like him.
He said, I want to be that dude.
That's right, that dude. And he's the closest thing, I think, in the NFL to being like Marshall Falk with his receiving abilities out of the backfield.
Second down 1 at the 47. But the Chargers having problems right now with penalties. 3 penalties already in this game. Let's see, here's Ed Hockley, maybe the most buffed referee in all of the National Football League.
I think Ed can look more.
The stakes on the 2 sides of the field are different. The official stake is on the far hash. We will bring it in and measure.
We got different stakes out on the field.
So here comes the crew measuring for the first down.
Got to have those stakes lined up, you know. Kind of like when you guys go out to dinner on Friday night.
There's Ed Hockley.
The southpaw. Love how he does that first down. Look at Ed. Look at the guns on Ed. He is a buff guy.
That's how you looked when you played.
I know. I wish I could.
Now you're an announcer like us.
Now I got little wispy arms like you. Wispy.
But not Ed Hockley. First down and 10, Chargers at the 48. Brees to Tomlinson, following his block, stumbles forward, and maybe a yard on the play. Time now for an update. Let's go to New York and Jim Nance.
You can never celebrate too early, Jim. And I'm sure Boomer was celebrating on that one.
Oh, yes. Here's Brees, play action. Looking over the middle, Tomlinson with the catch out of the backfield, lowers his shoulder and gets to the 45, a pickup of 7 yards. Tommy Polley with the tackle on defense. Very important game for the Chargers, Brent, because their schedule is going to get tougher and tougher as the season goes on.
Yeah, they have the toughest second half schedule of any team, I believe, and obviously a big game today. I think just a big confidence game after what happened last week against the Jets.
They play San Francisco, Miami, Denver, Oakland, Buffalo, Kansas City, and they wrap up the season with Seattle. Third down, 3 at the 45. They need to go to the 42 for a first down. Brees out of the shotgun to the sideline. Nice catch out of bounds. Tim Dwight, all hands on that play, gains 8 yards and picks up the first down.
You know, so much was made about the running backs in this game, but really the team that probably makes the most plays in the passing game is going to have a chance. You see Tim Dwight very well aware of where he is on the field, dragging that back foot, catching that ball with his arms reversed outside. That's a tough catch to be able to stick it in there and bring it in.
A determined wide receiver, Dwight, only 5'9", 180 pounds, his 21st catch of the year, 1st and 10. Hand off straight ahead, and they get to the 35. Tommy Polley coming up with the tackle on LaDainian Tomlinson. Here's Jim Nance in New York once again. And the Titans struggled out of the gate, but they have really turned it on in the last few weeks.
Well, I think they're the team to beat there in the AFC South.
We'll see them next week when they take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Second down and 9 at the 36 for the Chargers. Here's Brees with the delayed handoff to Tomlinson. Breaks one tackle. Picks up a yard on the play. Lewis with the tackle. And for the Rams, a very important game. They've won 3 in a row. They started the season losers of 5 straight. Can they get back in this thing?
I think they can get back in this thing. First challenge is to get back to 500. That's when you want to start making some things happen here the second half of the season. I think 10-6 clearly gets them in the playoffs. 9-7 is going to be one of those head-to-head deals, tiebreakers, and so they don't have a lot of room to make mistakes at this point.
Third down 9 at the 36. They need to go to the 27 for first down. Tomlinson with the catch, picks up the first down at the 24-yard line. Dre Bly making the tackle.
And we talked about Tomlinson and what he can do coming out of the backfield with his hand. Very impressive route runner and great hands for a running back. And watch Adam Archuleta, thinks he's got him all wrapped up right here, ends up getting a little bit of limp leg. You see how Tomlinson brings that leg, folds it under, Gus, and there's nothing left to grab. Archuleta's grasping at air, and these Chargers continue marching down the field and killing some clock.
Drew Brees off to a great start. 5 of 5, 44 yards. And this drive over 5 minutes for the Chargers. First and 10 at the St. Louis 25. They hand it off to Tomlinson, and this time he goes nowhere. Adam Archuleta, along with Pickett, making the tackle. Archuleta, a walk-on at Arizona State, ended up going there and starting 3 years and became a first-round draft pick. So time winding down here in the first, and you'll see Adam sometime come up and play a little linebacker.
Yeah, he likes to be involved in that 4-1-6 nickel defense they play, and they stick him in as a DB, but plays linebacker and makes some big plays for him.
That's the end of the first quarter.
7 apiece, start of the second quarter. And the momentum has swung in favor of this San Diego team after the strip and fumble return for a touchdown by Ryan McNeil.
The Chargers are right where they want to be. 7-7, grinding clock into the second quarter. Almost into the red zone here.
Or as Marty Schottenheimer calls it, the gold zone. Second and 10 at the 25. 10th play of the drive. Dwight in motion. Here's the pitch. Tomlinson with blockers in front of him. And he gets inside the 20-yard line down to about the 18. Gus Johnson along with Brent Jones, and so far, if you're this San Diego team, you are where you want to be.
That's exactly right, and the clock continues to roll, and they've been getting some positive yards with LaDainian Tomlinson and St. Louis Rams. And they told us that they were going to do more of that because they're so fast, they're so aggressive. They go to the initial side of the ball or the fake and come back with some things the other way, and nobody's home.
Fans trying to get into it, rooting on the defense. 3rd and 2 at the 17, and a flag on the play. And the Chargers offense.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And the offense is having problems with this crowd noise.
Yeah, you can definitely feel it. And then, of course, you don't want to do that on 3rd down. You've got an opportunity in 3rd and short, 3. You've got the threat of Tomlinson running the ball. And you've also got the pass, and now you're in a situation where you've got to throw the ball.
What did you guys do when you were with San Francisco and you played here?
We won. It wasn't the same Rams team. The fans weren't the same.
Okay.
They're into it now.
3rd and 7 at the 24. They need to go to the 15. Here's the blitz. Brees into the end zone for Conway. Incomplete. Broken up at the last moment by Dre Bly.
Well, you can just feel the confidence that Dre Bly has. I think he does on this route one-on-one versus Curtis Conway. I think he does a little Deion Sanders. He lets him get by him and then lulls the quarterback, and watch that makeup speed. You'd see those last 2 or 3 steps. It's what Deion used to do. He'd bait the quarterback into throwing it to the receiver, and then he'd try to pick the ball.
Nicely done by Bly. 40-yard field goal attempt for Steve Christie. It's up and good. So with 14:01 to go in the second quarter, the Chargers take a 10-7 lead on the road. Here in the second quarter, 14 minutes ago.
And you see that Rams defensive line there on the bench. They came off the field and they were huffing and puffing.
They look a little tired.
They sure do.
Wilkins from the 1. And Wilkins stumbles forward, gets to the 20-yard line. Zeke Moreno with the tackle on special teams. A 19-yard return. Here comes Bulger to the line of scrimmage. They hand it off. Falk over the right side. Gets down the sideline and tiptoes out of bounds at the 25. But a flag on the play.
And I think they're going to get Isaac Bruce for holding Alex Molden. And not only was he blocking him in the back, it looked like we got a little pull down there. Definitely had his back, his hands on Molden's back.
Holding, offense, number 80. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Let's watch Isaac Bruce on the outside right here. And there's those arms on the outside of Alex Molden. You see the old drag down. And probably a little bit of that is some good acting by Alex Molden, but where those hands get outside the framework of the body, the officials have been right on top of that. You can't get your hands on the back of a player. They're going to call you every time.
There's Molden off to a great start. We'll have a lot to talk about on date night if this keeps up on Thursday. First and long, 20. Bulger all day to throw the football. Underneath, and it's caught. Marshall Falk chopped down at the 22. Tackled on the play by Junior Seau after a gain of 12.
And what a huge weapon that is. And we saw Marc Bulger just stand for what appeared to be 6 or 7 seconds. We got double coverage against Isaac Bruce here down the field on the post route. And here's the curve. We got double. And you see Marshall Falk just sneaking out late right off here to the side. And watch what happens when he gets the ball. He sneaks back inside and gets vertical up the field. It's just impressive to have a guy that's a running back that can catch and make some things happen like Marshall Falk.
Second down 8 at the 22. Ernie Conwell lines up in the backfield. Bulger firing. That one broken up at the last moment. McNeil as well as Donnie Edwards in on the play. And Donnie Edwards, what a great acquisition coming over from Kansas City, where he led the Chiefs in tackles for the last 5 seasons.
And I'm just surprised more teams don't invoke that strategy. And Marty Schottenheimer talked about not only adding to the strength of your team, the linebacker spot, but you hurt a divisional opponent. You hurt the Kansas City Chiefs, who I think are ranked 32nd in defense in the National Football League. And you see that ball tipped up there, nearly a pick.
He's tied for the league lead in interceptions with 4. Third down 8 at the 22. They need to go to the 30. This one's sailing on Bulger, almost picked off again. Quentin Jammer, their first-round pick, got his hands on the football, and the Rams sent off the field once again.
Boy, you go back to that Alex Molden strip of Troy Edwards, and this whole momentum of this game completely changed. And you see Kurt Warner on the sideline. I'm sure he's going to go sit down and talk to Marc Bulger and say, hey, these are some of the things that they're doing out there. And it's nice to have a veteran like that being able to be in your ear during the course of a game.
Tim Dwight standing at the 31. Dwight so dangerous, can break one at any time. High, lazy kick. Dwight rather at the 29-yard line, and Tim Dwight gets up to the 44. A 49-yard punt and a 14-yard return. Excellent field position for the Sharks. First down and 10 at the 44 for the Chargers. Tomlinson lining up in the backfield with McCrary. Play action. Brees sets up, fires, incomplete, and a flag on the play. This will go against St. Louis. Grant Wistrom.
Boy, and Gus, that sure didn't look like a late hit to me unless he was using his helmet as a weapon or getting in the face.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 98. Lowered the head and hit the quarterback in the chest. 15-yard penalty, first down.
And he said that he lowered his head and hit the quarterback in the chest. And you see that using the helmet as a weapon right under the chin. And they're getting more specific about calling that, but it clearly wasn't late, Gus. It was using your helmet as a weapon. Grant Wistrom doesn't necessarily agree with that call. We've seen more and more of those type of calls here this year. The league trying to protect the players. Nothing wrong with protecting the guy.
First down and 10 at the 41. Out of the I formation. Tomlinson, the deep man. Play action again. Dwight open across the field, and it's caught at the 15. Tim Dwight in traffic with the grab, a gain of 26. And you have to have a lot of courage to go across the field like that.
Yes, you do, and I think Travis Fisher is going to have a shot on this. I thought this ball hung up just a little bit longer than it needed to. And you see him coming from behind, or actually,
Kim Herring.
That's Kim Herring. And that's usually a knockout blow. He just got a little arm tackle. Look at that, he almost missed Dwight.
Chargers threatening once again. Tomlinson running, chopped down, fumbles the ball. But I believe he was down. Grant Listrom recovering. And the fans not happy with the call.
And they're calling Tomlinson down. He went flying through the air, and I believe that he was. And I think that's definitely the right call. We're going to get a chance to look at it, but more importantly, Tomlinson limping off the field. And there's the shot right there on his ankle, it appears, and you see the ball come out after he hits.
So 2nd down and 3 at the 8. Terrell Fletcher in the game replacing Tomlinson, and Fletcher gets to about the 7. And Danian Tomlinson putting up some impressive numbers in the first half. Running and receiving. Marshall Faulk is also out. He went into the locker room. He has to get his foot retaped. He has plantar fasciitis. And they're going to retape it. It's strained plantar fascia, as it's referred to. 3rd down and 4 at the 9. They need to go to the 5 for first down. Brees rolling out of the pocket. Throws on the run. Nice catch, first down. Curtis Conway with the reception. And the Chargers pick up 7 yards and a first down.
And Curtis Conway doing a tremendous job of just playing football. Just get open. Trying to find a hole inside the zone. And
Curtis with his 500th career reception. Becomes the 71st player in the league's history to come up with 500 career receptions. Needs 42 yards for 7,000 for his career. 1st and goal at the 2. Out of the offset eye, Tomlinson back in the game, crawls forward and gets down to the goal line. He's about a half-inch shy of a touchdown. Adam Archuleta making the tackle, and this San Diego team this season very successful in the red zone. 27 possessions, 19 touchdowns, and that's what you love to see.
Got to score touchdowns in the red zone. So many times we see teams play for field goals. Field goals don't win you games, and you saw the Chargers first in the NFL. You can't get any better than that.
2nd down goal at the 1. 2 tight ends in the game for the Chargers. The pitch. Tomlinson to the corner. Touchdown, San Diego. And the Chargers, after being blown out last week, a mistake-filled game against the Jets, they have come out and looked great here in the first half.
And Tommy Polley, 52 for the Rams. He can run. Look at this. He thinks he's got the angle. You want to see how fast LaDainian Tomlinson is? It's not even close. He had him by 2 yards.
Extra point up and good. A lot of people saying after last week that the Chargers are pretenders, ready to jump off the bandwagon. But with 8:54 to go in the second, they lead the Rams 17-7 on the road.
Look for a big pass play, maybe up a play action fake to Tomlinson.
So here we go. Shea Caldwell, Ronnie Jenkins back deep. This is Jenkins inside his own 5. Ronnie Jenkins running it straight ahead. And he gets over the 25 up to the 28, a 26-yard return. So the quarterback comparison, very efficient quarterbacking by both men. Brees, 7 of 8, 77 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Bulger, 14 of 17, 141 yards, a touchdown, no picks.
And I think it speaks to the accuracy of both these young quarterbacks, what they can do. And Marc Bulger getting a chance to maybe throw the ball a little bit more. But the Chargers are doing exactly what they want to do coming in the game, stopping the run and running the ball themselves.
Tim Dwight in motion. 1st and 10 from the 27. They hand it to Tomlinson, breaks it back. LaDainian Tomlinson with all kinds of running room gets up to the 42, a pickup of 15.
And you've got to talk about this offensive line for the Chargers. They've done a phenomenal job run blocking. Watch the block right there. Steven Alexander, the tight end, seals the end down on the ground. That creates that hole for Tomlinson to burst through. And what speed he's got. Some great acceleration. And if there's just the slightest crevice, he's going to sneak through it and be off to the races.
Remember, Damian McIntosh isn't playing. He has a high ankle sprain. Ed Ellis replacing him at left tackle. 1st and 10 at the 42. A handoff again. Tomlinson hopping, skipping, gets inside Rams territory. And Travis Fisher coming up with the tackle, but another 8-yard gain.
And he told us he wanted to be just like Marshall Faulk.
He looked like him there.
That dude, exactly right. And it's that stop on a dime, lateral movement, acceleration, speed, moves through the hole. And look at the comparison, Gus, this season coming into today. And I think probably the thing that makes Tomlinson most like Marshall Faulk, beside his running ability, are his great hands coming out of the backfield.
2nd down 1 at the 49. Delayed handoff. Tomlinson again. A steady diet of LaDainian Tomlinson.
Boy, and this
Ryan Young with the tackle.
Not a good sign for the Rams defense here starting the second half. Obviously the momentum had swung. We talked about the Molden play, but going into halftime, their offense having the ball for over 8 minutes, coming away with 0 points. That really gives the momentum to San Diego at halftime. And so what you want to do as a defense is you want to come out in the second half and immediately stop that momentum. But the Chargers have continued it with the running of LaDainian Tomlinson.
Keeping the fans out of the game as well. 1st and 10 at the 46. Brees throwing on the run, incomplete. Dwight, the intended receiver. And this St. Louis team, they are known for their great offense, but I tell you what, they have a great coach on the defensive side who should be a head coach in this league very soon in Lovie Smith.
And I think you will see that here in the next year or two. Of course, Lovie Smith coming in from Tampa here a few years ago, changing this defense that was really kind of the weak spot on this team. And last year they improved in 22 of 23 defensive categories. They've been in the top 10 this year. Just really changed the style and aggressiveness of this defense for the Rams.
2nd and 10 at the 46. Flag on the play.
False start, offense, number 21. 5-yard penalty, it's still 2nd down.
Tomlinson moving.
You know, you should never do that. Backs and wide receivers, they aren't allowed to be offsides.
How about Marty Schottenheimer and what he's been able to bring to this San Diego squad? And I talked to Junior Seau, and he told us that Marty brings focus, intensity, passion, and most of all, structure to this team. 2nd and 15 at the 49. They run the reverse. Dwight trying to get outside, nothing doing. Dwight out of bounds at the 45. Leonard Little with the push, and Lovie Smith's defense ready on the play. That's a loss of 3 yards.
You guys, you talk about the structure that Junior was talking about, and I think that was probably been one of the biggest changes here in San Diego. Just from the years that I played them and the years that I've covered them, they just kind of had that loosey-goosey atmosphere. Like they didn't practice as intense as some teams. Not to say that they weren't all professionals, but Marty came in with a plan, a structure, a system is what Junior was talking about. Hey, we're going to run the ball, we're going to be aggressive on defense, and players are buying into that system.
On 3rd and 18, here's the screen, Terrell Fletcher. And Fletcher gets to the 44-yard line. They needed to get to the 36 for a first. It's a 12-yard gain. And the Chargers are forced to punt it away. Lovie Smith, and what a trio of coaches in Tampa while he was there. Tony Dungy, Herman Edwards, and Lovie Smith. 2 of those 3 coaches, head coaches, and Smith should be the next. Bennett at the 44. Terrence Wilkins back deep at the 10. End over end kick, Aussie style, and it's fair caught at the 12, a 28-yard punt. But Lovie Smith has to be pleased with the way the defense picked it up and St. Louis has it again. .11:34 to go, third quarter, 17-7. Chargers with the lead over the St. Louis Rams here at Edward Jones, the Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis.
You know, the Rams are 19-0 when Marshall Faulk gets over 100 yards. He's in the 20s today.
And some confusion on the field for the Rams coming out of the television timeout. So the Rams burn their first timeout on the second half. Back after this. The Gateway Arch commemorating the western growth of the United States. St. Louis with the football at their own 13. First down and 10. Here's Bulger, a flag on the play. Looking up top, Bulger for Holt. He has it out of bounds. Make it incomplete. Juggling it out of bounds. Torrey Holt. But let's see.
There was an illegal formation on the play. The initial setup had an ineligible number on the left end of the line before the shift. That is illegal formation by rule. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
And if you're going to be an eligible receiver on the line, you have to report to the official. And the Rams, an auspicious start because of coming out, getting a timeout after the TV timeout. A little confusion, and then to have a penalty. That's not exactly the way you want to bring momentum back into the game.
So the numbers on Bulger, the last drive of the first half, 8 of 8, 70 yards. But they failed to score as Marshall Faulk fumbled the football. You don't see that happen too often. The Rams have only 6 lost fumbles on the season. Coming into this game, they have 2 today. Here's Faulk cutting it back, and Faulk goes down. Junior Seau in. Third down 10 at the 13. They need to go to the 23 for first down. They're 2 of 5 on third down conversions. Bulger all day to throw the ball over the middle. It's caught on the first down. Ricky Kroll at the 35. A 20-yard gain. Alex Molden brought him down.
And Ricky Kroll just doesn't get enough credit for what he brings to an offense. Great job of separating. You see Marc Bulger have a lot of time here, and of course Molden has Prohl tied up. Then all of a sudden you see the separation created right there by Ricky Prohl, who knows an awful lot about running routes. Maybe not the fastest receiver, but we said before, it's not all about how fast you are, it's about creating separation.
Alex Molden has been playing terrific football this afternoon.
He sure has. He's been their most consistent corner midway through the season, and that's a big blow if he's out of the game for the San Diego team.
Gets up, gets off the field on his own. That's a good sign. In his 7th season out of Oregon. He must leave for a minimum of 1 play since the game was stopped because of his injury.
And I think we're going to get to see Quentin Jammer, who's been playing a lot of nickel coverage for the Chargers, their first-round pick.
It's a great name for a cornerback, right?
Darn right. Can't get a better name. It'd be like if you were a wide receiver and it'd be Billy Sweethands or something like that.
First down and 10 at the 34. Bulger firing down the field. Incomplete. Intended for Isaac Bruce, and Rodney Harrison was there.
And you see that ball just underthrown a little bit. Marc Bulger staying in the pocket to the last second and taking a big shot. And you see that ball just a little short. Rodney Harrison on the coverage down the field, and Isaac Bruce just coming back. And Rodney Harrison doing a great job of just keeping his left arm in the breadbasket of Isaac Bruce. And there's the shot that Bulger takes from Marcellus Wiley. But Rodney Harrison, you got to give him credit. It wasn't pass interference as much as the fans wanted it to be. And was falling away, but kept that arm right in the way.
Harrison returning after that one-game suspension for the late hit on Jerry Rice. And another timeout called by the Rams. So with 10:05 to go in the third, they have one timeout remaining.
I hope she's sharing some with her dad. That is great. It doesn't get any better than that when you're a kid.
Second down and 10 at the 34 for the Rams. Play action, Bulger, pump fake down the sideline. Holt is open, hauls it in at the 29. Great throw, and even better catch for Torrey Holt.
And Gus, you called it right off the bat, the pump fake, and that was to hold the safety, Rogers Beckett, keep him from getting over. Bulger pump fakes into the middle of the field. Watch 42, Rogers Beckett, react to that pump fake. He's supposed to get wide, and see him just holds him just long enough to keep him from getting over the top. And what a nice grab, Torrey Holt. That is a tough catch going away over the top of the shoulder. You see him bring it into the body. Tremendous grab.
39-yard gain for Torrey Holt. First and 10 for the Rams at the San Diego 27. Bulger pumping again into the end zone. Touchdown. Flag on the play, though, 27 yards.
Yeah, it's defensive pass interference, I'm imagining, Gus, and it didn't matter. Isaac Bruce emerged with the ball. Marc Bulger, we talked about his accuracy, putting it right on the money right there. And as much as the Chargers argue, I don't think they're coming away with this one.
Pass interference, defense, number 37. The penalty is declined. Touchdown.
So there goes the Reverend Ike. Beautiful gesture, handing it off to a fan in the stands. There you go.
Nice.
That ball is a keeper.
And you're going to see a nice wheel route right here by Isaac Bruce. McNeil right on him, and talk about a toss by Bulger, putting it right on the shoulder pad.
Extra point is up and good. Happy birthday, Isaac Bruce. And he gives the Rams fans a present here. 17-14, Isaac Bruce with the 59th touchdown of his illustrious career. He's second all-time on the team. They kick it away. Ronnie Jenkins over the 30, up to the 33, and let's take another look at the touchdown.
And Gus, watch Isaac Bruce. He's going to run a wheel route, which is a little out and up. And what you'd like to have is you'd like to have Ryan McNeil a little tighter. He's actually giving him some cushion right here, which is what you want if you're a Charger. Now watch when he turns it up. Look at the acceleration. Isaac Bruce right by him. That ball delivered by Marc Bulger. And you see the flag come in.
Looks like a pick play there.
You know what? It's a little hook by the outside guy and an out and up by the inside guy. And boy, you've got to throw that perfect. That was quite a toss by Bulger.
Two great throws on that drive by Marc Bulger. First and 10 at the 33. And they have allowed the fans to get back into this game. Ed Ellis, the left tackle.
Offense, number 69, 5-yard penalty. Go first down.
And you know what? I'm going to stick up for Ed Ellis. And then that wasn't a good spot to come in and stick up for him. But you haven't heard a lot about Grant Wistrom today. Had one shot, actually a late hit on Drew Brees. But Ed Ellis has done an admirable job. The big offensive tackle for the Chargers going against a quick speed rusher in Wistrom, who has a great motor, spin moves, outside moves, and he's done a nice job holding Wistrom off so far.
That's the 5th false start on the Chargers today. First down and 15 at the 28. Brees to the sideline. Beautiful throw out of bounds. Tim Dwight with the catch at the 41. A 14-yard pickup. That'll bring up third down, make it second down and 1.
Tim Dwight one-on-one against Travis Fisher, who's done a nice job. The rookie for the Rams, you see him get spun around. When those hips open up, the receiver has you exactly where he wants you. There's no way to cover up that ground. Nice route by Tim Dwight.
Second down 1. McCrary, Tomlinson line up in the eye. Quick strike, Dwight juggles it, makes the catch, and almost broke a big one. A nice open field tackle by Dre Bly. If not, Tim Dwight could have picked up about 30 yards on the play. Instead, he'll settle for 5.
Boy, and one of the toughest things to do coming out of that backfield, that quick toss to you, little flanker screen, is to catch the ball. Keep your eyes on the ball while you know the defender's closing on you. You saw Dwight bobble that ball a little bit.
Dre Bly, the only player in the University of North Carolina history to be selected a 3-time first-team All-America. Brees over the middle, tipped down, picked off. Kim Herring, he has it at the 40. Lovie Smith has his guys rolling here in the second half.
And Gus, you're going to see one of the better, most athletic interceptions that I've seen from a secondary in a long time. Kim Herring, who might have had his best game last week. Watch this effort. Ball up in the air, little over Alexander's head, tips it. Look at that, laying out full extension. Not only that, Gus, grabbing it with your hands and pulling it into your body before you hit the ground.
Lovie appreciating the effort by his defense.
You just wonder, I'm a little surprised we didn't see a little bit more LaDainian Tomlinson that drive. They're trying to throw the ball, the Chargers, and heck, you want to burn clock, you've got the lead, just keep pounding at them. I don't know if they've done a nice job of stopping Tomlinson yet today.
Here's the pitch. Falk breaking tackles, gets to the 44. And how about Kim Herring? That was his 3rd straight game with an interception. There's Kim, the Penn State product. He won a Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens in 2000 and has found a home here in St. Louis.
Boy, he's been really playing some solid ball these last couple weeks, and like you said, that's as athletic as a interception as you're going to see. Vertical, hands, draw it in. Usually defensive backs can't handle all those things at the same time.
2nd and 6 at the 44, empty backfield, 5-receiver package for the Rams. Bulger underneath, Torrey Holt with the grab, breaks it back. Holt slides down wisely at the 45. An 11-yard gain for the man out of North Carolina State.
Boy, Gus, and this offensive line of the St. Louis Rams continues to give Marc Bulger time. Big John St. Clair, the right tackle, going against Marcellus Wiley, who's a Pro Bowler and a load on the outside, continues to do a nice job not getting overcommitted, pushing him right by Marc Bulger, allowing for Torrey Holt to get the ball and make some things happen downfield. But you give Bulger time, he is going to gas you with all these toys that he has for the offense of the St. Louis Rams.
1st and 10 at the San Diego 45. Marshall Faulk skipping. Marshall Faulk is coming off another 150-yard game, 3 consecutive 150-yard games. And he's in elite company. Check this out. Earl Campbell, O.J. Simpson. Remember, he won the rushing title with 2,000 yards in '73. Falk. And then there's the great Jim Brown back in 1958.
And I think last week's performance by Falk with the flu and cramps and having to run through that was probably most significant, because I've had cramps before, and running through those is as painful as it can be.
Had 178 yards rushing last week. Play action, Bulger. Fires, gets touch on this one, and it's caught. The big tight end, Brandon Maliuna. A 27-yard pickup, his 2nd catch of the game.
And we've seen Maliuna go ahead the first time and have that nice spin move against Junior Seau and break some tackles. This time showing the people he can get down the field and make the catch and get some yards after the catch as well. Surprised you haven't brought up that quarterback controversy on this drive.
You know, I was thinking about it, but I didn't want to say anything. But Marc Bulger, I tell you what, folks, this kid is getting better and better every day. I mean, look at the numbers. 19 of 24, 266. No wonder he broke all of Dan Marino's records at Central Catholic High. Bulger underneath. The Revenite fumbles, and it's picked up again by the Chargers. Donnie Edwards sprinting towards the end zone. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. No flags on the field. Wow.
Gus, the story of this game is going to be the wide receivers for the St. Louis Rams not being able to hang on to the ball. We saw Troy Edwards get it stripped earlier. Isaac Bruce right there. And how about these bounces the Chargers have gotten? The ball's bounced right up into their defender's hands. There's the tackle. Perfect form tackle. And there goes Edwards. You see the ball bouncing right up. And a nice block right there by Quentin Jammer that sprung him. And it's all over. Donnie Edwards has wheels, as you can see.
Ben Lieber, the rookie out of Kansas State, with the tackle, and he forced the fumble. With 5:09 to go in the third, Donnie Edwards, an 89-yard fumble return, and here's Lieber.
Third-round pick, picture-perfect tackle, helmet on the ball.
A lot of pressure on it, but this is one of the toughest men in the NFL. If there's any way that he can get back in there, he certainly will. Meanwhile, Curtis Conway runs the reverse. Conway getting down the sideline, out of bounds at the 41.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4, and the Chargers 41.
I think they're going.
Jeff Garcia, Terrell Owens.
There's no reason why they shouldn't. They've got the guns to do it.
2nd and 4 at the 41. Here's the handoff to Tomlinson. Ladanian spinning and picks up the first down. Some hard running by this young man. A gain of 5.
It sure looked like there wasn't a whole lot of holes to run through, and he just gets small. That's one of the things they talk about in the locker room. Just get tiny and get through the hole. I don't know how you do that. Turn around, keep those legs churning, but bounce right through that hole. I thought when Ladanian Tomlinson talked to us about catching the ball, we said we're so impressed with his hands. He said, I've always been able to catch as a little kid. Used to play those games where I tried to make great diving catches, one-handed, all those deals, come up with the big catch.
Growing up in Waco. 1st and 10 at the 46. Tomlinson again following his blocks, pops it free down the sideline. Ladanian Tomlinson eating up the Rams now. Tomlinson out of bounds at the 24. It's a 30-yard gain.
And watch the blocking on the right side of the line. Von Parker, number 70, pushing the hole, making it that hole available to Tomlinson, who's getting small, and once he gets through there, he gets quick. You see the speed, and I think the thing about this young man that's so impressive is he can get the tough yards between the tackles, but he's got the speed to get outside like we just saw right there. Explosive.
And you have to credit John Butler, the general manager of San Diego, for making the trade, getting Tomlinson and giving up the pick for Michael Vick as Fletcher is pulled down from behind at the 19.
And I agree with you. In fact, I think John Butler is the best football guy in the National Football League. No question. He's came over to the Chargers from the Bills a couple years ago.
Holding offense, number 60. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
It's Ball, the center. As Marshall Faulk takes off his shoe, and he may get retaped. But John Butler came over from Buffalo. And he has done such a great job in San Diego as the general manager of the Chargers, not only selecting the right players, but picking the right coach.
Yeah, and of course, Marty Schottenheimer and John Butler, what a lethal combination. And you talked about the selection. Look at the young players that this Charger team has. And you talked earlier about Marty Schottenheimer bringing in structure and expectations for this team, and they're well on their way.
First down and a long 20, though, at the 34. Tomlinson, another flag on the play on the opposite side of the field at the 35. Offside against St. Louis.
Offside, defense, number 79, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
And after last week, there were some articles written on the Chargers, and Some of the writers said that there was space on the Chargers bandwagon because people were jumping off, and at 6-2 playing St. Louis today, it doesn't get any easier down the road. As you look at their upcoming schedule, they'll take on San Francisco, Miami, Denver, Oakland, Buffalo, Kansas City. What a killer schedule.
That is a brutal schedule. Hey, you need a hand back up on the bandwagon? You want me to lift you up?
First and a long 15 at the 29. It wasn't me, partner. As Tomlinson picks up maybe a yard and a half on the play.
I was telling you this was the bandwagon bowl today.
Yeah, you said that.
A lot of people were jumping back on the Rams bandwagon after winning 3 in a row, and after that brutal, horrifying game against the Jets last week, I think people were Geronimo jumping off the Chargers bandwagon. But I can always lift you back up onto our Charger bandwagon.
Oh, it's your Charger bandwagon now. Okay. Thank you, Brent. Second down, 14 at the 28. Here's Brees, the handoff, nowhere to go for Tomlinson. And this Charger team playing some disciplined football, almost mistake-free, but last week a totally different story against the Jets, especially on special teams.
That's 8 games worth of blunders, and they did it all in one game. And they just, hey, if you're going to pick a game to go ahead and just explode, look at all these deals. Allowed a punt return for a touchdown, could have been 2 if Bennett didn't make a tackle, lost fumble, PAT block, kickoff out of bounds, botched onside kick, field the punt at your own 5-yard line. And that's, like I said, that's 8 games worth of ugliness. And Steve Crosby said, hey, we're going to fix these things along with Marty Schottenheimer, and they fixed them today.
Third and 13, 27. They need to go to the 14 for first down. And the Chargers determined to just run the ball. Another flag on the play in the backfield. Maybe a holding penalty against the Chargers. Yes, it is.
And I think Toniu Fonoti.
Ah, you blew that one.
Gosh darn it, I was on a roll.
Toniu Fonoti.
You think you got it right,
I
don't
know
you?
I got it right.
Holding, offense, number 71, 10-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
We'll give you another try. Try it again.
Toniu Fonoti.
There you go. You said it fast enough.
Youngest man in the National Football League. He's got a size 18 shoe.
Size 18. Big man. Take a look at those feet. Those are the 2 biggest feet in all of pro football.
There you go. You're a basketball guy. How big are Shaq's shoes?
I think it's 23.
I think you're right.
Size 23.
So the question of the day is, can Toniu dunk?
Third and 23 at the 37 for Drew Brees. Sprinting out of the pocket, looking backside, nobody home. And Brees just wisely slides down, keeps them in field goal range as he picks up 3 yards.
And you know, at this point, Gus, that's a long field goal. I don't think you want to give the Rams an opportunity to have the ball in the 40. I'd punt it, and there's Darren Bennett on the field. Be a 50-yard attempt. If you miss it, the Rams get the ball on the 40-yard line. You don't want to give them possession, field position, and Darren Bennett does that great rugby kick with the ball spinning backwards right here. Is going to drop it inside the 20 with that reverse end-over-end kick. And I think this is the right move for sure. No timeouts left for the Rams, and we're almost at 5 minutes.
And they're going to give Bennett a little more room to punt this football. As the Chargers.
Delay of game, offense, the penalty is declined. It's still 4th down.
So the Chargers trying to get a little more room, and the penalty is declined. So Bennett standing at the 49, and watch how he kicks this ball, folks. He kicks it almost backwards. If you can keep your eye on it. He wants that reverse spin on the football. And he gets it. And it bounces back. Perfect for Darren Bennett. He is one of the best in the game.
Ball down to the 3 by the Chargers.
2:58 left. They're going to have to go no huddle, hurry up offense. They've got to get 2 possessions. They have no timeouts left. There's got to be a sense of urgency on offense.
Marshall Faulk going to the sideline with an ankle injury. (24-14) the score in St. Louis. The Rams have fumbled this football game away. A flag on the play, so a free play for Bulger. Marc Bulger scrambling out of the pocket, taken down. It's complete. Lamar Gordon with the reception, a gain of 5. And offside the call against San Diego.
Offside, defense, number 55. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
That's Junior Seau, but Brent, to look at this thing from an overall perspective, the Chargers have played mistake-free football.
And I think that the way that they started off with the Rams scoring really made them question themselves, and then it came out on defense and turned it around. You see the strip by Alex Molden right there, a scramble to see who's going to get the touchdown. Chargers scorer right there with a big touchdown. Then LaDainian Tomlinson, speed to the corner. You see him run right by Tommy Pauly. They had another big play for the Chargers D.
1st and 5 at the 11. Bulger throws the slant. It's caught. Great at the 26-yard line by Torrey Holt. And another look. They got close. Isaac Bruce with the 27-yard touchdown reception, but then Bruce fumbling. Donnie Edwards picks it up, rambles 82 yards for a touchdown. Bulger underneath, incomplete. He led Holt a little too much on that play.
And that's a dangerous place to be if you're a wide receiver. You know, Rodney Harrison is patrolling the middle of the field. I think Donnie Edwards was back deep on a deep linebacker drop as well. And you can afford to do that when you know the other team has to go hurry up offense and don't have any timeouts left.
And Bulger, 26 of 36, 324 yards, his career high, no interception.
I think the kid's been spectacular today. So receivers just haven't held on to the ball.
2nd down and 10 at the 27. Bulger again over the middle. Caught Isaac Bruce at midfield. Now remember, this Rams team out of timeouts. It's a gain of 23, but they can score a lot of points. And it won't take them very much time. As they say, boxers want to throw punches in bunches. Well, the Rams can score points in bunches. There's Bulger out of the pocket. Fires. Ricky Prohl with the catch at the 40. Donnie Edwards with the tackle. St. Louis with the no huddle right now. Bulger calling the plays at the line of scrimmage.
And a good sense of urgency for the St. Louis Rams. You see so many teams just walk up to the ball and waste precious moments.
Bulger to Prohl. Breaks a tackle, stop and start, and a shoestring tackle by McNeil at the 33 after a gain of 6. And the Rams get back to the line of scrimmage quickly. It's all Marc Bulger right now. Bulger looking like Kurt Warner. 2nd and 4 at the 34. Bulger going up top for Isaac Bruce. What a catch! Touchdown! Oh, man! Isaac Bruce! Wow! A one-handed circus catch for Bruce.
And I think Isaac Bruce is saying, hey, Quentin Jammer, welcome to the NFL. It's going away from him. He's going to tip it back inbounds to himself. You see Jammer falling along the sideline. And Isaac Bruce seeing that ball up. Jammer with great coverage. But when it came time to make the play, Bruce got that hand up and tipped it back inside to himself.
Here's the extra point. It's up and good. Isaac Bruce atoning for his mistakes. He's fumbled a couple of times. Bruce on his 30th birthday. 8 catches, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns, and we've got a ball game here in St. Louis.
A little fake onside action. Could go either way, but No timeouts. Put your back against the wall.
So here we go. The onside kick popped in the air. Dre Bly, skying, brings it down. And the St. Louis Rams recover the onside kick.
And Gus, the guy that usually gets the least credit for an onside kick is the kicker, Jeff Wilkins. What a spectacular kick. Watch him top it, and it bounces straight up in the air, goes past the 10 yards, and Dre Bly skying through the air like he's going up for a rebound. And what a great job by Jeff Wilkins, giving his guy a chance to get it. And you see Dre Bly get up, get air. And look at the Rams bench.
No timeouts for St. Louis. All the time in the world for this high-octane offense. 3:06 to go. First down and 10 at their own 46. Bulger having the game of his life. Out of the shotgun and a whistle.
I think Torrey Holt was moving on the outside.
Ball start. Offense, number 81. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And you got to know better. We've talked all along. Wide receivers can't jump off sides. You're going on ball movement, not on snap count. But Gus, the Rams need to get down to about the 35-yard line to be in Jeff Wilkins' field goal range.
But they are thinking score right here.
Well, you're Mike March, and you got to love the aggressiveness of that guy as your head coach. They are thinking touchdown.
We'd like to welcome those of you that saw the end of the Indianapolis-Philadelphia game. 1st and 15 at the 41 for the Rams. Marc Bulger. Out of the backfield, Gordon with the catch, breaks a tackle and gets inside San Diego territory. So here's the story. The Rams have fumbled it 4 times today. Marshall Faulk is on the sideline with an injured ankle. But it's been the coming out party for Marc Bulger. He's thrown for over 400 yards today. Trying to lead his team back. Gordon again stays in bounds and is drilled by Jammer at the 42, along with Vernon Fox, a 4-yard pickup.
Now that wasn't the worst move in the world because he went back in and got the first down. You got to get the first down first. You've got time. You got the 2-minute warning still. Most people say, hey, you got to get out of bounds. But that wasn't bad. Get a couple extra yards and get the first down.
1st and 10 at the 41. 2:08 to play in the 4th quarter. The San Diego Chargers lead the Rams 24-21. We're in St. Louis at the Edward Jones Dome. Gus Johnson along with Brent Jones, and what a game it's been. The Rams have been flat, undisciplined. They fumbled the ball, resulting in touchdowns for San Diego, but Marc Bulger leading them back. He's thrown for over 400 yards today. And the Rams have it at the San Diego 39. The numbers on Bulger. Empty backfield. Play clock winding down. Did they get it off? I don't know.
Illegal snap by the center. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
But for St. Louis today, regardless of the mishaps, they have continued to fight in this game. Moments ago, Bulger putting this one up in the air, and one of the prettiest plays that you'll ever see. Isaac Bruce, and then an onside kick with no timeouts remaining. Dre Bly plucking it out of the air, and here we are. A white knuckler for Mike Marc. And the Rams, they've won 3 straight. 2nd and 13 at the San Diego 44. The pitch. Gordon with room. Gordon tripped up, loses the ball, but he will be down at the 33-yard line. And Gordon, a little stiffness in his arm. Look at this hit by Jammer. And Harrison, he lands on his head. Back after this. empty backfield. 3rd down 4 at the 35. 2 minutes to go. They're 3 of 8 on 3rd down conversions. Bulger underneath, throws a rope. 1st down, Torrey Holt with the grab at the 24. And the Rams are thinking touchdown. They're already in field goal range. Bulger spiking the football with 1:42 to go. No timeouts for St. Louis. They ran out of timeouts in the 3rd quarter.
And guys, we've talked about Marc Bulger having all day to throw all day long. And this Charger defense, even with their blitz, haven't been able to put a whole lot of pressure on him. He hasn't been hit a whole lot. And when they've given him time in these soft zones, he's picked apart the defense for the Chargers. His only problem has been his wide receivers fumbling the ball.
500 yards in total offense for the Rams, who trail 24-21. Gordon in motion out of the backfield. Here comes the blitz. Picked up over the middle. Isaac Bruce with the catch at the 9. Harrison with the tackle. 1:33 to go. Bulger wants him to get to the line of scrimmage. And Marty Schottenheimer wants a timeout. 1:25 remaining in the 4th, and they're on their feet in St. Louis.
Gus, I don't know if I take that timeout right there. If I'm the Chargers, Bulger was going to spike the ball, and you lose a timeout because you might get the ball back and need to put on your own drive at this point. And I think the Chargers were just in disarray trying to line up, but the Rams were coming up to the line of scrimmage, and Bulger was making the movement down like he was going to spike the ball to kill the clock. Not a great time to take a timeout. And they're tough inside the red zone. They've given up a lot of yards today, but getting points on the board is a whole different deal.
Under Coach Martz, the Rams so crafty on offense, especially in the red zone. They can score with the best of them. So keep your eye on Ernie Conwell. He already has a touchdown today. He's number 84. And he'll line up in the slot. And here's a tackle-eligible play. Watch number 70. As Conwell comes in motion. Play action, Bulger looking, incomplete. 1:19 to go.
And that's almost better that the Rams didn't catch it right there, Gordon. Because if he catches the ball, he's tackled in bounds and that clock's running. And Marc Bulger has to know at that point, hey, just if nobody's open running crossing routes down inside, just throw it out of the end zone.
Junior Seau, the veteran warrior for the Chargers. He's been the leader of this team for so many years. 13th season. Here comes Bulger. 2nd down goal at the 7. 3 receiver package. Bruce in motion. Here comes a blitz. Bulger throwing on the run. Touchdown.
And how about the throw by Marc Bulger, putting it right on his outside shoulder and letting Isaac Bruce sneak that ball across the goal line. And what the officials were trying to figure out was Isaac Bruce's knee down? And had that ball not crossed the goal line yet? They gave him the touchdown, and Isaac Bruce atoning for some earlier fumbles.
Fumbling twice today. Isaac Bruce gets a hug from Kurt Warner, but the star of this game, folks, has been young Marc Bulger.
How about the pinpoint accuracy of the young quarterback?
He looks like Kurt Warner. Make sure Bruce got in.
Yeah, I think that ball was across. You see that knee hit at the end there. And inside 2 minutes, Gus, remember, you don't need to challenge it. Everything's reviewable, any questionable play. And I think Ed Hockley, the buffed referee, is going to go check out the monitor.
4 touchdowns.
And there's Kurt Warner giving him a big hug, saying, that's a heck of a throw, big guy.
And I'm sure Kurt, as you take another look.
And there's Bruce's
knee down.
And I don't know if it had gotten down yet, but I think at that point he had shifted the ball to the top of his chest right there, and you see the ball's over prior to that knee hitting. And I don't even know if that knee ever hit prior to the ball getting across. And I think the Chargers are shell-shocked, Gus. Just look at them on the sideline. This is a game that they felt was in their hands.
So let's listen for Ed Hockley.
A review of the play shows that the ball crossed the plane of the goal before the knee came down. Touchdown.
Isaac Bruce, 10 catches, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns today, all thrown by that man, Marc Bulger.
And I think if I'm the Chargers, I want him to rule touchdown as well at this point. Otherwise, the ball's on the half-yard line, run another play. Maybe they don't get in. That clock keeps rolling. You need as much time as you can get now to put up a drive of your own. And you, like I said, you sure wish you had that extra timeout back.
Extra point is up and good. 28-24. But we have a minute and 14 remaining, and the Chargers have a timeout, and career highs across the board for Marc Bulger. What a perfect game. 36 of 48, 453, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Brent, I'm going to ask you the question I asked you at the beginning of the game. If he continues at this pace, is there a quarterback controversy in St. Louis?
No, and it's because I got 3 letters for you, and I told you before, MVP, 2 times in a row. That man, Kurt Warner, or not two out of the last 3 years, and he can really make some things happen. And hey, Kurt didn't have the greatest start to the season. I think his shoulder was sore. He got the pins out of his finger the other day and started throwing the ball. But hey, let's talk about Marc Bulger, because that's the story of the game.
Okay.
And those spectacular throws. And we said at the top of the show, he is not a manage-the-game quarterback. He's better than that. He's a starter in this league. Mike March told us that. It just might not be for the St. Louis Rams, but Mike March didn't sound like he was letting go anywhere.
Marc Bulger out of Central Catholic High School in Pittsburgh holds 25 passing records at West Virginia. And coming into this season, he was just hoping to win the job as the #3 quarterback. He's done pretty well for himself. Chargers with time. Jenkins back deep. Jenkins pops it out! He's got to beat the kicker down the sideline. Ronnie Jenkins gets to the 45, and the Chargers still have life. A 52-yard return.
And Gus, if the Rams hang on to win this game, Jeff Wilkins is going to be my MVP. Watch the kicker. Watch the speed, acceleration. Ronnie Jenkins can run. He can't shake Jeff Wilkins, who had that spectacular onside kick just a few minutes ago, and then a game-saving tackle as well.
Remember, the Chargers need a touchdown. A field goal won't help them. They have a timeout remaining. First down and 10 at the 46-yard line. Brees, and he's sacked. Dropped at the 45. Great pressure. Tyoka Jackson, the 8th-year man out of Penn State. And the clock is running. Brees steps up in the pocket, dumps it off, incomplete. Tyoka Jackson came up to us on Friday and said, hey, you got to mention me on TV. And Brent, I think it was you that said, well, you got to make some plays. He comes up with the biggest play on defense today.
That was a big play. Let's watch Tyoka Jackson right here, defensive left tackle. Little arm over move and just a shot on Drew Brees. And that did not feel good at all. And the clock keeps rolling, and the Chargers with only 1 timeout left.
3rd and 19, flag on the play. And Brees just spikes the football.
start. Offense. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
And Gus, you got to give credit to the fans here in St. Louis. This attempted drive, there's been disarray. That was a 6th false start today for the Chargers, and the fans are going crazy. You can see the problems the Chargers are having trying to communicate the plays. Drew Brees with hand signals out to his wide receivers. The offensive lineman can't hear the count. I can barely hear myself talk.
They're down 24 at the 40. Brees out of the shotgun. Steps up underneath. It's caught. And they get it out of bounds. It's Steven Alexander. A gain of 12. And that'll bring up 4th down and long for the Chargers. Here's the 4th quarter rally. First, Marc Bulger finding Isaac Bruce on a great athletic play. An onside kick pulled down by Dre Bly, and then the touchdown by Bruce. So 4th down and 12 at the 48.
Got to throw it beyond the first down marker. None of that short yardage stuff.
They need to go to the 36 for a first down. Here's Brees stepping up, fires, got it at the 30. An 18-yard pickup. What a nice throw by Drew Brees. Rashae Caldwell with the reception. And the young man from Austin, Texas, putting that ball right on the money.
And you just talk about staying composed. Watch Drew Brees step up. He's going to get some pressure, steps right up in the pocket, and hits the rookie out of Florida, running a nice deep in route, past the yardage marker, and they call their last timeout.
So what do you do, Brent?
Well,
no timeouts remaining.
You've got to use
25 seconds. How many plays can you get off?
Well, you can probably get off 3 plays, maybe take 3 shots at the end zone. You've got to use the sideline, Gus. You can't use the middle of the field right now. Unless you want to get up and try to spike the ball. It's pretty aggressive play calling, though, and pretty risky at this point. Take some shots. A lot of times, guys are expecting you to use the sideline. How about a double move along the sideline? Maybe an out and up.
1st and 10 at the 30. Brees out of the shotgun, looking down the sideline for Conway. Incomplete. Kim Herring coming over. And Herring shaken up. 18 seconds to go.
And Kim Herring eyeing that ball, thinking interception the whole time, and Curtis Conway gets his arm in there and prevents the interception. Quite a collision.
Herring may have injured his shoulder. He stays in the game. 2nd down 10 from the 30. They can't throw the ball over the middle of the field. The clock may run out. Brees out of the gun. Brees pumping, looks backside. Intercepted. Intercepted. Dexter McLeon with the interception. And what a comeback by the St. Louis Rams.
You see Drew Brees pump, trying to go with a little double move the safety out of there. But McLeon not being fooled, going up and making the grab.
Mike Martz remains cool. He remained cool the entire game. He knew his team could score points. And Kurt Warner, one of the happiest men, Marc Bulger, stays cool as well.
And what a day by Marc Bulger.
What a day.
And we talked about his pinpoint accuracy and his strong arm. And we said all along he's not a manage-the-game quarterback, that he can be a starter in this league.
And Marc Bulger, what's his contract status?
I think he's tied up for at least this year, but he's still a young player, so he's still restricted for, I think, 2 more years. But that's going to be a question a lot of teams around the NFL are going to be asking this offseason.
And without Marshall Faulk in the lineup, on the sideline with the injured ankle, Marc Bulger leads the Rams to victory. He'll take a knee right here. And that's it. What a rally. The St. Louis Rams win their 4th straight. Here they come. NFC West 28-24.